This is not a test. This is your emergency broadcast system announcing the commencement of Phatts TV, sanctioned by PA Phatts and the non-genetically proven Sun. Any and all words have been authorized during the show. There is nothing off limits. Nobody is restricted from watching and participating in the show. It is a free-for-all. Commencing at the siren, any and all discussions will be legal for an extended period of time. Sports, politics, and any and all controversial topics will be talked about. You have been warned. May God be with us all.
And good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Phatts TV on this Thursday night. Special Thursday show this week, October the 28th, 2021. I've broken out my autumn gear. It's flannel. It's like my official football gear that doesn't button because, you know, I'm Phatts. Joining me in the upper left-hand portion of the screen, as always, except for maybe next Monday, from his underground bunker deep in the heart of Center County, Pennsylvania, the one, the only, non-genetically proven son. How's it going? You're muted, dumbass.
I gotta get a flannel.
You really? You have no flannel?
I don't.
I got like 8 of them. You could have one. You won't fit
They're a
yet.
little. I think they're a little big. I only need a large. I don't need a
18X?
I don't need a big. I don't need a big one.
So, tonight is going to be a sports-related show as always. Mark your calendars. Next Monday, Election Eve, I am going to be doing a political show. Maybe solo. The non-genetically proven son is in class. So he can't join us. School does come first. Which class do you have Monday nights?
Producing workshop.
It's here I thought it was like sex ed or something like that.
Sex porn film.
So producing. So you're making. Oh, you. That was my idea for your senior project, to produce a porn film. Good. I'm glad you took my idea. I hope you're not starring in it.
No, I'm not.
No. Okay. I hope there's a lesbian scene in it too. Every porn film has to have a lesbian scene.
Oh, it's like 7 of them.
Okay. That's fine. That's fine. But I do want to talk about something political very quickly because I saw it about a half an hour before showtime.
Okay.
And it struck a nerve with me.
Okay.
But I want to talk about two things. The one I saw earlier today. And so I guess Congress has come to an agreement on this infrastructure plan, however much money is going to be spent.
Right. Just more inflation.
So at about 11:40-ish, Biden had not a press conference, because as usual he didn't take questions from the press, but he announced that there was an agreement. And in there he talked about how there's going to be extra money for families who are putting children in childcare. Okay. But Grandpa Joe had the fucking nerve to say the following, and I'm not going to quote it because I didn't write his exact quote down. But when I heard it, I said, yeah, right, you stupid old fuck. He won his Senate seat, I believe, in 1972. Shortly thereafter, his wife was tragically killed in a car accident and with his daughter. So he was left as a single parent with 2 young sons. But that old fuck had the nerve to say that he had to have his family watch his children because he couldn't afford to put his sons in daycare. Now, I have no idea what the cost of daycare was in 1972. I'll admit. But I'm going to guess that a U.S. senator's salary would cover that pretty easily.
Probably.
Just gonna take that guess. He actually had the nerve to say that his family, meaning his parents, had to watch his children because he couldn't afford to put his sons in daycare. Yeah. Okay. Sure. The Wall Street Journal tonight has breaking news, that the Biden administration is considering paying, are you ready for this? We all know, going back to the Trump administration, the people that crossed the border, mostly illegally, a lot of them got separated. Their families got separated. The Biden administration is reportedly considering paying each person that got separated. Take a guess.
$15,000.
$450,000.
I want $450,000.
You and I are going to the border and becoming separated.
Yeah?
So now we're going to pay people to come into this country illegally more than we already do by giving them welfare. Now we're going to pay them $450,000 because they got separated when they came into this country illegally. Are you fucking out of your mind? Are you trying to start a civil war?
Kinda.
I'm I don't know what to fucking think. What? I want to ask anybody that voted for this clown show if they agree with this.
Oh, there's got to be somebody out there. There's probably about 15,000 of them within 2 miles of me, so.
I want to know, any of my friends that watch this show, I know probably none of you has voted for that clown. But if you did and you're willing to admit it, we're not going to make fun of you much. Okay, we will. Would you agree with paying people that come into this country illegally because they got separated $450,000? How many years do you have to work to make $450,000? Think about that. At 2,080 hours per year. Think about that for a minute. I know how many years I got to work.
One.
To gross that amount. Yeah, one.
One.
A week.
A day.
Because, singer accountants get paid a lot.
10 minutes because I'm Bill Gates.
Really? You don't look like Bill Gates.
I kind of wish I had his money.
Yeah, but if you were Bill Gates, then you would be for reduction in population through eugenics and all that good stuff.
He makes $1,300 per second, approximately.
Yeah, fuck Bill Gates.
That's crazy.
Fuck Bill Gates. Let's look at what's his name makes per second.
Bezos?
No, the other guy. The Tesla guy.
Oh,
I mean, plus, who knows? We're going to get into a lot of shit on money. We're going to talk about now how the government wants to tax unrealized gains on your assets. We're going to talk about that on Monday.
He makes about $36 billion a day.
I don't get paid that much. No. All right, so let's talk about the debacle that was last Saturday.
I don't know what you're talking about.
In State College.
What are you talking about?
You were in the stadium to witness this.
He makes $25 million like a minute. So there you go.
You were in the stadium to witness this.
I don't want to talk about this.
Yes, but it was on the list of stuff for us to talk. So I proposed a question to you, and this is the question of the night for those of you that are watching. Who should be more embarrassed? The Penn State offense or the Penn State defense? The Penn State offense for putting up, did they put up 10 or 13 points in regulation?
They tied at 13.
13.
No, 10. They
10.
tied at 10.
10. Or the Penn State defense, which is supposed to be a really good defense that gave up 350 yards rushing.
To Illinois.
Now, it's not like Illinois averages 80 yards rushing a game. They average like 160, so they're a decently rushing team because they can't throw the ball.
No, they cannot throw the ball.
But you gave up 350 yards of rushing? You'll see when we go over our Phatts Phantastic Phive picks from last week that I took Penn State team total under 34.5. What odds would I have gotten before the game that the game would go 9 overtimes and I would still cover that number by more than 2 touchdowns?
Hey, I went 3-0 on the game.
You did.
Honestly, I made it out okay.
You did. You did.
I made $35 off the game, so I can't exactly be like super mad about it.
Yes. Kiana says Penn State defense should be more embarrassed.
I agree.
Me too.
I think I said that to you almost without hesitation.
Sean Clifford should have never played in that game last week. He's obviously still hurt. Whatever the hell happened. Somebody said to me Sunday, they go, oh, I know who it was. Said, I think he had COVID. He was diagnosed at halftime of the Iowa game with COVID. I'm like, what? Just shut the fuck up.
All right.
Like you were diagnosed with COVID at halftime of the Iowa game.
No, we could have started Taquan Roberson and we would have been fine.
They could have started me because I still have college eligibility for football.
I thought there was no reason to not play Leleau and Roberson alternate, or however you wanted to do it, because you have a redshirt freshman who could play 4 games, who's a really good pass thrower apparently, and their secondary was trash. We had guys open 25 yards down the field the whole game.
Right, but Clifford couldn't throw the ball that far.
You can't throw it that far. And then Roberson is really good at getting out of the pocket, and that's all they had to do was basically jet sweep or just, act like you're going to run it and then have him circle out, and he had an open field.
Yes. I mean,
this was easy.
Did you get the sense, like I did, that Penn State tried to, lose that game?
It honestly almost looked like it. Like, we'd run it on first down every time, and every time we passed it, it actually worked. Whoa!
I mean, our best wide receiver had, what, 2 catches? 2 catches?
Something like that. We didn't even target him.
And first off, the game should have been over in the first overtime.
Oh, yeah, guy misses the ball right on his face.
They tried that trick Philly play, and our number, is he number 0, right? Or 1, whatever. The ball was right there for him to intercept, and he just, dropped it, or the quarterback got his hand in there to break it up. I mean, come on. You can't let a quarterback break up that pass. It was and Illinois, their play calling in overtime was just ridiculously dumb as well.
True.
I mean,
all they had to do was run it up the middle, and they kept trying to pass it.
Yeah. And then their quarterback got hurt. I still think he either broke his arm or broke his wrist in overtime.
He walked right in front of the student section, had a towel over it, so we could see anything.
Yeah, something was broke there. Something. I mean, if you watch the replays, he gets hit right on it and then gets thrown up in the air, and then he lands really funny, with it bent.
Yeah.
I mean, it was. Yeah, something was definitely amiss there. I mean, and the one time, our running back just had to reach the ball across, and he doesn't. Don't worry about fumbling it at that point.
Pretty much, yeah.
It's a 2-point conversion play. If you fumble it, you fumble it. You don't have to hold the ball like it's 1st and goal from the 1. Reach the ball across.
But yet, I wasn't surprised.
It's
just something that Penn State does every year after their first loss. They always play a shithouser of a game their next game.
So now I believe they're projected to play in the
Toilet.
Charmin Dirty Toilet Paper Bowl against UMass. I think they're or UConn.
Oh, against
one of the
UMass.
two.
There's one win between those teams, my guy.
I put the line at pick right now.
All right. I think right now we're projected to actually face. It might have been Kentucky.
We'll get blown out of the water against Kentucky. Can you see us having to play Will Levis?
I don't want to, because he's a better quarterback.
Right now he is. But before that game, interestingly enough, the projections were a potential New Year's Day Big Six Peach Bowl matchup against Pitt.
Yeah, you want us to get embarrassed by Pitt?
Would that have been an interesting game?
You know who we could face right now and we'd still lose? Clemson. And Clemson's embarrassing. They are an embarrassing team this year. And it's like, what the hell happened? Like, does Dabo not know how to recruit? Like, hello?
I may have played that game in this week's Phatts Phantastic Phive.
How does James Franklin recruit, like, amazing with an average to good team, and then, national championship coaches can't recruit?
Yeah.
Except Saban. He could recruit. He could just say hi, and he could recruit. Except him.
So, is Franklin leaving?
I don't think so.
We know, supposedly, the word is out that he's right at the top of the list for the USC job and the LSU job. And yes, he changed management representation over the summer. Not that that plays a part in it, but you never know. And he's made some interesting comments. He said, what did he say? What was the exact quote? He goes,
he said they were playing Illinois twice this week.
Yeah, but I don't mean at his press conference. There was there was a quote that he said that similar to, like, I bleed Penn State blue, but we have to see how everything plays out. Something like that.
Interesting.
So, do you think he's going? You said no.
I don't think so. Unless we go 7-5, then I'm like,
Do you want to see him go? Now, before you answer that question, let's just state right now, he's actually a friend of the family's.
That he is.
Not necessarily our friend.
True.
But he's in tight with our family, at least mine. If you're genetically proven, then yours too. Our cousin Michael and he were roommates in college. They both played for East Stroudsburg. And they've kept in close contact with each other through the years. So close that you got a job. No, wait, no, you didn't get a job. Never mind. Yeah. But he is a friend of the family's. So if you say, no, I want him to stay, there could be a little bias in there. Could be.
I do and I don't.
Okay.
I feel like if I ever wanted to work for Penn State, having him as the coach is going to be quite helpful. Potentially.
Yes,
but I think if we ever want to win a national championship, he's not it.
Okay. All right. I'm a fan of James Franklin. I like the guy. I could care less if he goes or not. Now, after last week, I could care less. I mean, you can't lose that game.
If we go 7-5, I think he'd be like on hot water. Like, it'd be like, if you don't get us to a New Year's Six bowl the next year, you're done.
I mean, let's not forget.
If we don't go we don't beat Ohio State the year after that, and don't have more than one loss, you're done. Get out of here.
So let's not forget he's got the number one recruiting class coming in.
At least as of the number one quarterback.
As of this moment, with the number one quarterback, which will be interesting to see how that shakes out because you got the quarterback from Canada that's supposedly really good. You got Taekwon,
the best quarterback in Canada.
You got Taekwon that's really good. You got the other kid from Central York that's coming in that's decent at least.
Some people are going to be leaving.
Yeah.
We also have the best running back in the country, or one of.
Yeah, you got the kid from Mifflin. That's a high 4-star running back. He's coming in. He always could attract good tight ends anymore. We got really good wide receivers coming in. There's a reason why we got the Penn State. Listen to us, Penn State has the top ranked class. I mean, there's a lot of really good players coming in. So it's going to be exciting as long as they have the right coach. So, let's just say he leaves for the sake of argument. You were tasked to come up with a name, and I was tasked to come up with a name of a replacement. And I don't know what name you came up with. I know you know the name I came up with.
Because I have 2.
Yes. And your second one was the one that I came up with.
Yes. Well, I don't know 100%. There were 2 coaches I thought could come if he leaves. So
obviously Nick Saban is not on our list.
That'd be nice.
Yes.
Impossible.
Ryan Day is not on our list. So, who do you think could potentially come to Penn State?
Take a guess. You want a hint? You want some sort of...
No. Because I know who you're thinking. Because I believe he's planning on leaving the team that he's coaching. I don't know if it's at the end of this season or it's the end of next season. Pep Guardiola.
Pep Guardiola?
Yeah. He's a football coach, is he not?
Different kind of football.
Well, he's a football coach.
Yeah. I don't know if he knows American football too well.
So he's a soccer coach with Manchester City.
Yes. And he's leaving in 2 or 3 years.
Okay, so that's not the name you were thinking of.
No.
Oh, okay. See, it's hard to find a coach that I think... There's only a couple good college coaches out there. That's the problem.
Another one that popped in my head, but it'd be I don't know if I'd even want him.
Go ahead. Give me the name.
At Oregon was the one I just thought of.
Yeah, but that's not the one that's on your list.
No.
Who's the one that's on your list?
Mike Tomlin.
Mike Tomlin. Interesting that you said Mike Tomlin. That would be a very good idea. It's not going to happen, though.
No, it's not, but it would be a possibility because he's kind of on hot water.
It's not happening. And I'm going to tell you why it's not happening, although I would love it if it did happen. In his weekly press conference this week, it was brought up about him supposedly being on the short list at USC. And he basically said, go fuck yourself. I got one of the best jobs in all of football coaching the Pittsburgh Steelers. I ain't fucking going anywhere. I never, ever, ever want to hear you bring this up again. And he ended it again by saying, go fuck yourself. But that would be... The question is, I don't think he would be relatable to college kids. That's my only problem.
The Steelers could go 5-12, and he still wouldn't get fired.
No, the Steelers don't fire their coaches.
No, they don't.
They wait till their coaches retire. Chuck Noll was coach for 30 years? And then the dude with the chin. I mean, they don't fire their coaches. They wait till their coaches retire. I mean,
the Steelers would be good if they had a quarterback.
And they will next year when Aaron Rodgers is wearing the black and gold. Trust
Aaron
me.
Rodgers will not be wearing the black and gold.
How much would you like to bet?
He doesn't want to play in the cold.
How much would you like to bet Aaron Rodgers if Mike Tomlin is still the coach? That's the caveat. If Tomlin is still the coach, Aaron Rodgers is wearing black and gold next year. You heard it?
One whole American dollar.
Okay, so a gentleman's bet, $1. Kiana, write it down. That Aaron Rodgers, as long as Tomlin is the coach at Pittsburgh, he is wearing black and gold next year. You heard it here first. Mark it down. Okay. So you have to find a coach that's relatable to the college game.
Right.
All right. There is no college coaches out there that are big enough for this job. You have to find a college coach that's big enough. It's got to be a big name. Because if you pull in a coach from like Cincinnati's coach or Oregon's coach or whomever, you got to have a big name coach. That's the only way. There's one big name out there. One. That's PA. No. One big name out there. He was interested in the Penn State job years ago, before Bill O'Brien got hired. Joe Paterno was still the coach when this guy expressed interest in being Paterno's replacement whenever Paterno retired, but then the scandal happened, and he wound up going to another college, which was Ohio State. Urban Meyer is basically the only person that you could bring in to coach Penn State. That's it. He's the only one. If Franklin leaves, they will push for Urban Meyer, and it wouldn't shock me in the world if Urban Meyer leaves Jacksonville, because as a pro coach, he is going to fail. Just like Nick Saban did when he coached the Miami Dolphins. You don't even remember Nick Saban was a pro coach, do you?
I know he coached LSU, I think, for a time.
He did. And then he went to Miami. And he failed. Google Nick Saban's pro coaching record over his lifetime. He failed. Some coaches are just not relatable to the pro players. It's just the way it is.
65 and 63.
Yeah. So he was barely a 500 coach. I'm shocked he was there like 8 years. That's like 8 years worth of games.
He was 1988 to 2006.
He wasn't there 18 years.
I don't know. It says Nick Saban was a football coach in the NFL from 1988 to 2006.
I don't remember that. So he might have been assistant coaches somewhere. So when does it say he
only
was
coached for 8?
Okay. So that's about right. Yeah, 8. So, and he failed. Just like Urban Meyer's going to fail. They're better college coaches. Urban Meyer, I'm telling you, back in the day when Paterno was a coach, expressed interest in the Penn State job. I remember it very well.
He coached Michigan State?
He did. Because I wanted him to be the next Penn State coach. And then the scandal happened, and that was that.
If you told me I could take a pick between Franklin and Urban, gonna pick Urban on that one.
Yeah.
Because he's gonna not run the ball.
The only problem bringing in Urban Meyer is scandal usually follows Urban Meyer with his assistants. He doesn't bring in that's kind of like how he left Ohio State. One of his assistant coaches I think he was beating his wife and nothing was done about it or something like that. I mean, but is that Urban Meyer's responsibility? No. Just like, was it Joe Paterno's responsibility with Sandusky? Whether Sandusky is innocent or guilty, that's a separate debate. That's a completely separate debate. You and I were not there. We don't know what exactly happened. But Paterno did, when he found out about it, he talked to his bosses about it, and that was Paterno was there to coach the football team. He talked to his bosses about it. It was his bosses that dropped the ball after it. So Paterno should have never been fired. He was the fall guy for this whole thing.
Put his statue back up.
Absolutely put his statue
Probably
back
just sitting in a storage unit somewhere.
It probably is. So, they play Ohio State this week.
They do.
And I know one of us has this game in our Phatts Phantastic Phive. So we won't talk about that much about it now. We'll talk about it more when we get to our Phatts Phantastic Phive picks. So let me just ask you, does Penn State have any chance of winning this game? Or what would have to happen? Take two? That was even shabby. Take two? What would have to happen for Penn State to win this game? Besides score more points than Ohio State.
Damn, you took my idea. They'd have to play a defensive game like they played in Iowa. They'd have to give up no more than probably 23. And let's face it, Ohio State's offense is just a little bit better than Iowa's offense. Just a smidge.
Yes.
Basically, if Ohio State played Iowa, that would be a joke of a game. It'd be pretty funny. I think Penn State could put up the points, but I don't know if they can hold the points.
Okay.
Potentially. Who the hell knows with Clifford? And then they're also going at night in whatever, the mock whiteout because they think it's funny.
They are not playing at night. They're playing in the afternoon, 3:30.
7:30, try again.
That's a 3:30 game. When did that become a
7:30
game?
It's been a 7:30 game since they announced it.
Oh, okay.
In their mock whiteout called the Scarlet Out. They think they're real original. You had Penn State to originate it. Then you had Michigan who thought it was cool to do Maize Out when it's just yellow. And then now you got the Scarlet Out. Ooh. Wow. None of them look nearly as cool as the whiteout.
That's right. BYU's whiteout is pretty cool.
Because I don't see any national attention going towards the Maize Out.
Like I said, BYU's whiteout is pretty cool.
Get out of here. Shut up. BYU. How big is their stadium?
It seats 14. But they could really pack in those 14.
It seats 63,000, which is more than I thought it did.
Have you ever been around 63,000 Mormons? That's one hell of a party.
I've been around 63,000 people who just can't stand watching Penn State football.
Think about it. Bring them young, baby. Okay, then.
It was cool in the stadium. They said there was 105,000 there. I think that was a lie.
Might have been
I'd say more about 95,000.
There might have been 105,000 tickets sold.
Maybe. And, during Illinois' overtime, it was pretty loud. But then during our plays, you could hear literally like a pin drop. It was so dead quiet.
It was
like church. It was weird.
It was funny how they kept having to go up and down the field.
Watching the camera people like going, God damn it, God damn it, God damn it. With their huge camera like, because I'm sure it was more annoying for them than anything.
Some people lost some calories having to walk back and forth.
Oh, yeah. They're probably like, can we just walk on the field?
I was not one of them. So before we get to our Phatts Phantastic Phive this week, I want to keep the show to an hour because it's a pretty good Thursday night football game this week. Which, at the end of the show, since we didn't pick it, mandatory pick who's covering that game. So we'll get to that a little bit later. So we all know our friend Dave Portnoy does pizza reviews, one bite. Everybody knows the rules. One bite. Everybody knows the rules. Some of you may not know that a few months ago came out with his own pizza called One Bite. Everyone knows the rules pizza. They sell it at Walmart and a bunch of other stores. Not every Walmart sells them, but a bunch do. And I picked one up this week because I wanted to try it. It's not cheap for thin crust pizza. It's thin crust. Thin crust pizza. It's not cheap.
He likes crunchy.
I paid like six something for it, like $6.47 or something for it. But it wasn't half bad. If you like thin crust pizza, you're gonna like this. The cooking instructions are a little off, especially for my oven. You were supposed to preheat the oven at 450 degrees and then cook it without a baking sheet. So cook it right on the rack for 10 to 13 minutes. I cooked mine for only like 8 minutes and it was overdone already at 8 minutes.
450's hot.
It is. Well, it depends. You know, you're supposed to cook pizza on a higher temperature.
See, I don't put it on the baking rack because there's no way I'm getting it off the baking rack, so I just put it on a sheet.
You know, if you clean your baking racks, then you'll get it off.
No, it'll be fine, but trying to get it off, I'm gonna burn myself. It's such a small little kitchen. No thanks.
Yeah, just gotta know what to do.
I'm just gonna put it on my pizza tray because they come out fine.
Okay. So that added to the crispiness with it being a little overdone, but it certainly was not a bad pizza at all. I got the pepperoni. They have I think a 5 cheese, and they had like an everything brand type pizza and stuff. I would give it like a solid 7.5 of, you know, if we're just doing frozen store-bought pizzas. It does not compare at all to DiGiorno crispy pan pizza, though. This pizza is the bomb of frozen pizzas. This is like caramelized Sicilian pizza. It's really expensive. My local grocery store, it's like $9.50 if you wanted to buy it.
Does it come with a little baking pan in it?
It does, yes.
See, that's why it's so expensive.
Oh, yeah, because it's got a baking pan. Yeah,
because it's like a 50-cent baking pan.
It's got a cardboard, yeah, it's got like a 5-cent baking pan. It's a cardboard baking pan, basically. No, it's like Detroit style pizza. It's got a really thick crust. Walmart sells it for like
That's
$7.
Chicago. Try again.
Detroit. This is more like Detroit pizza.
I don't know what Detroit pizza
Well,
is.
look it up, dumbass. Detroit has more of a Sicilian type pizza. Chicago is round deep dish. Yes.
Detroit should be known for nothing.
They're known for crime.
And poorness.
But that pizza is the bomb.
Terrible sports teams.
If you like thick pizza, that pizza's the bomb.
You know what other city's known for terrible sports teams?
Philadelphia.
New York, baby! Your favorite.
Rangers are doing pretty good so far.
It's like 10 games in. Relax.
They're not even... I don't
You realize
think
like
it's-
Buffalo's like in the playoffs right now.
That's right.
And like Anaheim is, you know, the two... and Detroit, I think, actually.
So, if you like thin crust pizza and don't mind spending a little extra money, try it for yourself. Try the one bite pizza. If you like thicker pizza, like the thickness of my never mind.
Look.
Stomach is what I was going to say, of course.
Oh, yeah. Is that what you're going to say?
Try the DiGiorno crispy pan. You won't be disappointed, I promise you. This you have to cook on like 500 degrees or something like that.
Jesus.
No, actually, I don't think it's that high. It's 400, but it's like for 22 to 24 minutes.
Pizzas I cook are $4.25 for like a half an hour.
Oh, yeah, but you buy stuffed crust, so that takes a long time.
I do buy stuff.
Yeah, so you got to melt the cheese in the crust takes a while. So one of the things that we were supposed to do last week, but we didn't have a show last week because the non-genetically proven son was on location shooting a film. I think he was... I don't know where you were doing your porn scene last week.
In the intersection, like right out there.
Probably. Of our rankings of the top 10 NFL teams.
Yeah?
Now, surprisingly,
I have the Lions as number one.
Sure, why not? I have the Jets as number one.
The Jets are better than the Lions, so
I'm not so sure if they were to play each other right now, they would beat them.
I mean the Lions have a better quarterback. Does that count?
Well, the Jets are on their backup quarterback for a few weeks. So, but surprisingly, we both feel that one conference is pretty dominant over the other.
Oh, I wonder why.
But interestingly enough, if the playoffs were to start today, your number one seed in the NFC obviously would be the Arizona Cardinals. They're the only undefeated team. And your number one seed in the AFC, because the tiebreakers, would be your Cincinnati Bengals. I don't believe either team was picked to finish first in their division. I don't believe they were picked to finish second in their division. I don't even think they were predicted to finish third in their division.
I think I had Cincinnati. I think I might have had them in third.
You did, I think.
I think I had Pittsburgh in last still.
But you did say Arizona would win 10 games this season. You did. I do remember.
No, I did have it making the playoffs. I had 3 teams in the NFC West making the playoffs.
You may have had all 4 teams in the NFC.
No, I think I actually had them winning 10 games and finishing last.
You did. You did.
And, because Seattle looks freaking amazing.
Well,
worst defense in the
again,
league.
backup quarterback now.
I don't care. But you can still win games.
They're going to win this week. They play Jacksonville. You heard it here first.
Jacksonville wins the game.
No. Gentleman's bet. Gentleman's bet. Seattle's winning that game this week.
Sure, another buck.
Gentleman's bet. You already owe me $1. You're going to owe me another one on our other bet that we just made. And now you're going to owe me a third one.
And they lost to the Steelers. That's bad. Come on. Come on.
Steelers are looking really old.
They lost to the Vikings. The Vikings.
Who?
The Vikings.
Who lost to them?
Seattle.
Seattle. Well,
And they still had Russell Wilson.
They did.
At that time.
They did. Seattle's defense is very bad. I mean, San Francisco's looked really bad.
Well, they have Trey Lance in at this point, don't
Didn't
they?
I picked... No, he's hurt. He got hurt in the one game he started.
Nice. Is Garoppolo playing again?
Yes.
Oh.
And I picked the Rams to win that division. I don't believe you did.
I
believe you picked Seattle.
I either had them winning the division or I had San Francisco winning the division.
I know you didn't have the Rams to win that division. I did.
I don't know. I don't know. So,
right. So who is your 10th team?
The Las Vegas Raiders.
Las Vegas Raiders. Interesting. So, do you think they're better now that Gruden has left or not? They're 2-0 since he's left.
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. Okay. Well, my number 10 team is from the same division. I picked them to go to the Super Bowl, the Los Angeles Chargers.
That's mean.
Why is that mean?
I think they're better than Vegas.
So do I. So why did you... Oh, that means you must have the Chargers up there further. Okay.
That's not fine. Yeah, I do.
That's fine. That's fine. Who's your number 9 team?
The Tennessee Titans.
The Tennessee Titans. Why number 9? Why not higher? They just beat Kansas City, which and the week before that they beat Buffalo.
They only beat Buffalo because of their running back. Plain and simple.
Okay.
It wasn't their offense or whatever. The running back put the whole team on his big back and won.
Who got the dub?
The Titans.
Okay. Does it matter how they got the dub?
I just don't think they're...
Does it matter?
Number 9 team. They're the number 9 team.
Does it matter how they got the dub?
I don't care.
If you shoot, if you got a strike to make it a double, does it matter how you got that strike, or just the fact that you got a strike?
I guess not.
My number 9 team is the Baltimore Ravens.
Ooh.
They're probably a little bit lower than most people would put them. But they just got their ass handed to them by the Bengals. Like, their ass got handed to them. When they usually blow out the Bengals each and every time they face them, they just got whooped on. Was it like 42-17 or something like that?
41-17 at home.
Yeah. Your number 18.
The Cincinnati Bengals.
The Cincinnati Bengals. Okay.
Okay. Cincinnati's 5-2. Well, let's not get ahead of ourselves here. It is still Cincinnati. Let's relax here.
They may have the best
7 games.
They certainly have the best rookie in all of football.
I'm drawing a blank.
Their wide receiver from LSU.
I don't know his name, but I know who you're talking about.
He is going to break every single rookie passing record that there is.
It also helps they, probably play together.
With each other, sure. I'm sure they
makes
played.
Makes it kind of nice.
I'm sure they played with each other quite often when they were in college.
Yeah, all right. Let's not get ahead of ourselves. Cincinnati will not win that division. I think Cleveland might wake up eventually.
Well,
might.
Okay.
Because I think Baker's not playing this week, so
probably not.
So
okay. No. My number 18, the Cincinnati Bengals. Probably a little low for the technically number 1 rated team in the AFC. But, I can't wait to see what they're going to be like 2 years from now. They could be a really, really good team 2 years from now. But a little, I mean, that could be an unbelievable, think of it next year. Think of the quarterbacks that could be in that division next year. You got Baker Mayfield, if he stays. You got Joe Burrow. You got, what's his name from Baltimore?
Lamar Jackson.
Lamar Jackson, thank you. And you got, what's his name from Green Bay? Aaron Rodgers.
Aaron Rodgers.
Because I'm going to win $1 on that bet. You want to talk about a division with 4 really good quarterbacks.
Yeah.
That would be very, very interesting. Who do you got at number 7?
The LA Chargers.
The LA Chargers. Interesting. Okay.
They had a lull. That's it. That's all they had. They had a lull against the Ravens. It's not going to happen again.
They have New England this week.
They have a really good quarterback.
They do.
He could smack you around if he actually feels like actually scoring points for once.
Yeah. Yeah. So interesting, you laughed at me when I said they were going to make the Super Bowl, or did I even say they were going to win the Super Bowl?
You said they're going to make the Super Bowl.
Okay. And you have them higher than I do. I have them at number 10.
Dude.
You have them at number 7.
Well, I get to watch football like every week.
You do. I don't.
So I've been watching them, and they look good.
At number 7, I have probably a little low, the Buffalo Bills. The Bills of Buffalo. They lost the game to Tennessee. They already have 2 losses. They lost somehow to Pittsburgh in the opening week.
Yeah, trust me, I had them.
And then they lost to Tennessee. They should be undefeated right now. If they're undefeated, I probably would have them at number 2 or number 3, maybe even number 1. But right now they're number 7. Who do you have at number 6?
Buffalo.
Okay, why so low for you? That's low for you. I know how much you liked them. You picked them to go to the Super Bowl or to win the Super Bowl.
I think I had them to win the Super Bowl.
Okay.
I don't know. They're not impressing me. I mean, they're still good. Maybe it's just because it's early season and it's kind of like a Tom Brady thing, where they just, whatever. We'll win the division because their division stinks. Just get to the playoffs. Make sure, we're going to be a top 3 seed. We'll get home field, whatever. Just, win 13 games. We'll be happy. And then, I don't know, something like that. And then we'll turn it on.
Got it. So, as my 6, I have Tennessee. Only because of who they just beat the last 2 weeks. Now, true, before that, they lost to the Jets. But
they did lose to the Jets.
half of their offense didn't play that game because
the Chiefs isn't impressive. The Chiefs stink.
They didn't play that game because they all got COVID because they were having a circle jerk with each other.
You could play right now better than the Chiefs quarterback.
Speaking of that, did you see the hit that Mahomes took last Sunday or Monday, whatever that game was? You didn't see it where his head got bent like backwards? Oh, no, God, was that a bad hit. Holy Jesus. All right, so you notice we all have AFC teams from 10 to 6. I have a feeling we're going to have a lot of NFC teams from 5 to 1. Who's your number 5?
The Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Really? Tom Brady down at number 5. Okay. All right.
I don't know. Again, they're not fully impressing me. They beat the Bears, big deal. They squeaked by the Eagles. They beat the Dolphins, big deal. They beat the Patriots, barely beat the Patriots. They didn't look great against the Rams. And they're just kind of squeaking by some good teams, and they're blowing out bad teams. Whatever.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Like nothing's impressed me on their record so far. It's also Tom Brady. Who cares until the playoffs?
Yeah. Yeah. I have your Green Bay Packers at number 5.
Oh, that's rude. That's a rude pick.
Like calling them yours? Like I don't.
No, putting them at 5.
Okay. Well,
up in week 1 where they looked like a high school team.
Right. Well, they have one loss, and that was a bad loss to the Saints. That was on a neutral field. Let's not forget. And Green Bay does throw in 1 or 2 of these games. It'll be very interesting to see what happens tonight. If they get blown off the field in Arizona, then my 5 is very justified.
True. If they go and get...
Yeah.
I don't want to say that.
If they win, then obviously my 5 isn't justified. But for now, we have them at 5. Who's your number 4?
The LA Rams.
The LA Rams. Really, the one-loss LA Rams. You need to have your head examined.
I think Stafford's really freaking good.
He is good.
I think they're a Super Bowl contender.
You think?
Yeah. It's going to be very, very interesting in a couple months from now when they play the Cardinals in Arizona again.
Yeah.
Assuming everything, still going the way it is.
Yeah. Yeah. My number 4 is your other favorite team, the Dallas Cowboys.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Dallas Cowboys.
They're looking really good. Only lost to Tampa in week 1.
Barely.
So they've won every game since, and they're looking good. Like I said, if they're an AFC team, I would say they're on track to be the number 1 seed. But they're in the NFC.
But the thing with the Cowboys that does irritate me, other than the Bucs, they beat the Chargers. Okay, they don't beat anybody else.
Right. Yeah.
Well,
so the only thing is
not putting up points.
You could only play who's on your schedule.
True.
They do have some tough games coming up.
30, 40 points a game, and for pros, that's a lot.
Yep. Number 3.
Green Bay Packers.
Green Bay Packers.
They look good ever since week 1. After week 1, they look fine. They're not scoring a lot, but they're winning. They're getting it done. And their division really stinks. It's bad.
Yeah.
So they'll walk to probably a 2 or a 3 seed.
Probably. My 3, Tampa Bay, Tom Brady, enough said.
Enough said.
Number 2.
The Dallas Cowgirls.
Dallas Cowboys.
They're putting up points.
Yep.
Their offense looks pretty lethal. I would love to see them play like Arizona or the Rams or Green Bay or Tampa again.
Wow.
It'd be very interesting to see if they play like a stellar defense, how they would play.
I know they got some good games coming up. Let's see here. Let's pull up their schedule really quick.
Vikings, Broncos, Falcons. Those are tough.
They are. They're.
When they play the Chiefs, that's a tough one. It's in Arrowhead, so they do play the Cardinals January 2nd.
All right.
Their schedule actually isn't that bad. Like, I mean, it's bad. My bad. It's not very good.
Well, it helps not having a good schedule, or not finishing really good last year due to injury. That kind of helps to have a pretty weak schedule this year. So let's see here. Which means come playoff time, they'll fuck it up.
With their schedule, they can actually make a run at the 1 seed if Arizona starts slipping up.
So after this week, they have the Broncos, the Falcons, then their bye week, then the Raiders, the Saints.
Why'd you say their bye week? They play the Chiefs.
Oh, sorry. I'm looking at their home away, and it's a little weird. Yeah. Then the Chiefs, then the Raiders. Then
4 days later.
Right that's Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
Then the Saints, the football team. Yeah, they don't play anybody. The Giants, the football team again, Arizona, and then the Eagles. Yeah, so they could potentially win out.
I could see them having 2, maybe 3 losses just because for some reason they like to drop a game. But 2 losses, they're either the 1 or the 2 seed.
Yeah. So my number 2, the best team in football, the LA Rams. They are the best team in football. They are the most complete team in football right now. And obviously we both have the same number 1, the only undefeated team in the land, the Arizona Cardinals.
I had the Lions one.
So, forced prediction. Who wins tonight? And who covers the 6.5? I got to remember, Davante Adams isn't playing tonight.
I forgot about that. He's the Rona or whatever. You know, the thing that if you're healthy, you don't die from.
Yes.
If Davante Adams was playing...
I don't care. He's not playing. Who's winning and who's covering?
Arizona wins, Packers cover.
I agree. Of the 6 games Davante Adams has not played for Green Bay, they're 6-0.
So, bet the money line? Is what you're saying?
Well, also, interestingly, now, speaking of... Now, granted, they're only a 6.5 as of the last time I looked. Pull up one of the betting sites and see what the current line is.
It's loading. 6.5.
Okay. No NFL underdog 7 or more has won straight up so far this year.
Come on. Load up the bets. You're taking a bigger vig taking the Cardinals, so they want you to take the Packers.
All right.
You're getting plus 235 on the Packers money line.
Well, as you should be at 6.5. On to the Phatts Phantastic 5.
Woo!
Let's review your picks from last week.
Let's not.
So you were 17-18 going into last week. And you had Cincinnati minus 27.5. Loser.
I don't know how they only beat Navy by like 6.
You had Wisconsin team total over 21.5. Winner. You had Michigan team total over 37.5.
Way to score 10 in the first half.
You had Ohio State minus 21. That was pretty easy.
Yeah, that one was pretty easy.
They were up by almost 40 at halftime.
Yeah, that one was pretty easy.
And you had the over in the Ohio State, Oklahoma State at 47.5. So you went 2-3.
I don't know how a Big 12 game can't go over.
Told you Oklahoma State has got a pretty decent defense this year.
I don't call back. I know they still scored.
Yes.
I've never heard of you calling back for taunting. That's weak.
So you are presently 19 and 21.
Yeah.
And here are your picks for the week. So get ready, ladies and gentlemen. Write down the games you do not want to be playing. Or play the opposite side.
Wow.
Although I do like your first game. You have the over in the Iowa-Wisconsin game at 37.
Honestly, I think that's so low. I was thinking about playing almost three different bets. The over in the game, at least two, and the over for the team total in probably Iowa.
Both teams' team total or just one team's team total?
I might only take Iowa, but I was thinking about taking both.
Okay. Well, I would definitely take Iowa's team total since... So at 37.5 and the line being 3.5, it would be Wisconsin at 20 and Iowa at 17, somewhere around there, with maybe, halves in there.
Yeah.
As well. You have Georgia team total over 32.5.
They're in the swamp.
No, they're not.
They're playing Florida.
They are. How many times do I have to tell you this? That game is always on a neutral field in Jacksonville.
I know. Whatever.
It's called the world's largest cocktail party. Every year that game is on a neutral field.
Well, Georgia blows them out.
At least it used to be. I hope I'm not sounding stupid and it's not anymore. They are a 14-point favorite.
Yeah, and they score 40.
Okay. You took Penn State. What a dumb play. What an absolute dumb, moronic play. Plus 18.5.
They're gonna figure it out, all right? They're gonna figure it out. They're gonna lose about 95% sure.
Who is the defensive lineman that's out for Penn State?
Mustafa.
I don't know if that's the reason why Illinois ran for 350 yards or not.
It better not be one guy. Come on.
But so the stat that I shared with my kid last week, over the last 3 weeks, not including any drives, so we're talking about first half drives only, not including any drives that ended because the half came to an end. Ohio State has scored 16 touchdowns and 1 field goal in 17 drives. If that continues, this is going to be a blowout at halftime. I'm going to say it right here. Clifford does not finish this game. He is still hurt. He will not finish this game. Which means you're going to put a quarterback in who's not ready to play. Ohio State wins this game 45-15. 45-18, something like that. Just my prediction. I hope Penn State wins 45-18. I really do.
Don't we all?
Then you have 2 pro games this week, which is odd for you. You don't like to take pro games.
I couldn't. Honestly, other than the first 2 games, I was scratching.
Really? I found some games. You took the LA Chargers minus 4.5 at home, coming off of a bye over the New England Patriots.
That's why I like them. They're coming off a bye, off of a nasty loss.
Yeah, that was a nasty loss.
They're going to play better.
I would expect them to play a lot better.
They're not going to be Penn State coming off a bye. It looks like they picked their assholes for 2 weeks.
Yeah. And your last game, which is, I found an interesting pick, and the first thing I asked you was, did you know Seattle, Russell Wilson isn't playing in this game?
Yes,
was Jacksonville, Seattle,
for 3 weeks.
over 43.5. Why in the world did you like that game?
Jacksonville's going to put up 30.
Okay.
Coming off a bye again. Another bye team.
Going into Seattle.
Seattle has the worst defense in the league. And Jacksonville is right behind them in second.
Yeah. Okay.
So lots of yards. It's going to be, I think, like a 30-28 kind of game.
Okay. That'd be a great reason to go over then. So we'll see if when we talk about if you actually bet the game, if you've taken any team totals there. Team totals could be the way to go there.
Potentially.
All right, so those are your picks. Let's take a look at mine. So I had another 4-1 week. That's 2 weeks in a row, 4-1. So let's recap my picks. I'm now. I took Penn State team total under 34.5. Easiest pick you will ever have.
Yeah.
When you could play 9 overtimes and still only score 18 points.
Yeah.
Another pretty easy pick. Pitt -3 over Clemson. God, that was easy. My loss was New York Jets, New England under 21.5 in the first half. The Jets did a good job of trying to keep that first half under. At least the Jets offense did. New England did not. Carolina, New York Giants under 43. Another easy pick. Halfway through the third quarter, that score was 5-3. Arizona team total under 32.5. I figured they would get out to a big lead and basically just run the clock out, and that's what they did. I did have to hold on for dear life that Arizona had 31 for most of the fourth quarter, and then they just stopped trying, so they just ran the clock out. So another 4-1 week, second in a row, so that puts me at 24-16. You heard that right, ladies and gentlemen. 24-16, back on my redemption bandwagon. So that means that I go 0-5 this week, or 1-4.
And I go 5-0.
So here are my picks. I have 4 college and 1 pro. And I like seeing the non-genetically proven son's reaction because he doesn't usually see these picks until right now. And I could tell, I could just see he's anticipating me to hit the button to change the screen. He's really, really anticipating because he knows we don't match on any picks.
Yeah, watch you at Penn State.
That'd
be hilarious.
I do not. I promise you, I do not. And I do not have Ohio State either.
Although you probably have a team total in that game.
No, I do not. Although I do have 2 team totals. My first pick. I don't understand why Iowa's a 3.5-point underdog at Wisconsin. I don't understand it at all, which means Iowa's going to get blown out in this game. But Wisconsin can't move the ball, and now you're having them play against a really good defensive team. I don't understand it. Iowa will intercept 2 or 3 passes in this game. Book it, Dano. It's going to happen. And this line hasn't moved all week. I've checked the lines usually twice a day, and every time I've checked it since Sunday night, it's been 3.5. Speaking of a team getting points, Florida State. I know Florida State isn't really that good, but you're giving me almost double digits against Clemson. Clemson might be a double-digit favorite against UMass. They might. They might. They'd be a double-digit favorite against the Jets, sure. But they should be a double-digit favorite against Florida. They win this. If Clemson wins this game, they win it by 4 at the most. I'm going right back to my Pitt team total. This is the game that cost me 5-0 2 weeks ago when I had Pitt over team total 30.5 against Virginia Tech, and they scored their 28th point with about 7.5 minutes to go in the third quarter and didn't score another fucking point the entire game. They went on like a 13-minute drive in the fourth quarter and didn't score. Because they wouldn't kick a field goal on 4th down. They went for it. Because they were blowing them out. If it was a close game, obviously they would have kicked the field goal. Then I would have been 5-0. It was the first 5-0. I don't think either of us have ever gone 5-0.
No.
Would have been the first 5-0. So this week they're playing Miami. Miami can't stop the Little Sisters of the Poor. Pitt should be able to put up 35 here. Should. I do have an under. Oregon State and Cal. Cal's defense is actually really good. Really good. Like, they hold teams to typically 20 points or less. And I got Cal at home this week, not on the road. Oregon State just is coming off a big win last week. Was it UCLA? I forget who they just beat last week. They're coming off a pretty big win. 56 is a lot of points for this game. I think it stays in the 40s, like around 48 or 49.
They beat Utah.
Utah. That's right. It was like 31-24 or something like that.
42-34.
Like I said, 31-24. And my final game, the pros. I got Houston team total under 15.5. That's not a lot of points, but they're playing the Rams. Houston, in 4 out of their last 5 games, has scored less than 10 points. One of the games, they got shut out.
Against the Bills.
Another game, they scored 3. And one of the games, they scored 5.
They scored 22 on the Patriots,
They did.
though.
They did. And then, but what are the other 4 games?
Well, their last 4 games, they scored 5-3, 22-0, and then 9, 21, and 21.
Right, so 4 out of the last 5, they've scored less than 10.
Yeah.
And now this is the best defense that they've faced out of those teams. And you're going to tell me they're going to put up more than 2 touchdowns. I have my doubts. Unless there's something stupid happens, like they get a turnover deep in, the Rams territory or return something. So those are my plays. Let's recap and then we'll call it a night because football is getting ready to start. So for the non-genetically proven son, he's got Iowa, Wisconsin over 37. I like the pick. Georgia team total over 32.5. I kind of like the pick. Penn State plus 18.
And a half. And a half.
Chargers minus 4.5. I do not have an opinion whatsoever on that game. Jacksonville, Seattle over 43. I kind of do like that pick with them having such bad defenses, but God, Geno Smith, ugh.
Yeah, he does suck. But I just need him to get probably 14 points in the way I draw it out. So.
Okay. All right. My picks, Iowa plus 3.5. Don't understand why they're catching more than a field goal at Wisconsin, but there's got to be a reason, so I'm probably going to lose that game. Florida State plus 9.5 at Clemson. One of these weeks, Clemson is going to wake up and blow out a team. Let's hope it's not this week.
Let's hope it is this week.
Pitt, team total over 34.5. They're playing Miami. Miami is giving up about, on average, though, this many points, and they probably haven't played a team as good with an offense as Pitt has yet this season. Oregon State, Cal, under 56. Cal doesn't like to give up a lot of points, especially at home. And team total, Houston, under 15.5. Those are your Phatts Phantastic 5 for the week. Yay!
Hey.
Look at this. I'm gonna put us up with the Phatts Phantastic 5 logo still there. Look at that. Hey! And now it's going goodbye. So those are our picks. You got anything else before we wrap it up and go watch some football?
No.
We're
going to hopefully go watch Green Bay win.
Okay. And
I'm going to probably go make dinner.
Okay. You going to have a DiGiorno crispy pan?
I don't have a DiGiorno crispy pan.
That's right. You're a poor
I'm
college
thinking
student.
maybe mac and cheese.
There you go.
Or maybe a calzone.
There you go. Obviously not from an Italian place.
Nope, from Aldi's.
I hear they have killer calzones at Aldi's.
Yeah, they do.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we will see you. I will see you Monday. And we'll do a pre-election show, and I'll bitch and complain about politics. You'll be in class Monday, filming or showing scenes from your porn or whatever.
Yep.
They're not wearing condoms in this porn, are they? I hope not. If they are, I don't want to watch it.
That's boring.
That is boring. That's boring. Boring shit.
Who said there's penises in it?
Oh, it's an all lesbian porn. That's cool. That's fine. That's fine. That's cool. Well, I mean, as long as it's not butchy lesbians.
No.
Nothing ruins a porn like a butch lesbian. No. That's bad. That's bad. That's bad. All right, ladies and gentlemen, have a safe, happy, and healthy weekend. If you're into bowling, check us out on our other YouTube channel. I will be on there Sunday. The Pennsylvania Junior Bowlers Tour. This week's tournament is from Jordan Lanes up in Whitehall, Pennsylvania. We'll be live sometime in the afternoon for the finals. It's an 8-game marathon. So,
Yippee!
yay! It's a long drawn out finals too. It's top 8, and they do 2-game matches. It's long drawn out. It's shit. So
Go and beat plus 400. There you go. There's your goal.
Sure.
That's what I went. Plus 400
For 8, did you?
for 8 games.
You really averaged 250.
Yeah, and I had a 193 in game 3.
Oh wow!
Helped having a 300 and a couple 270s.
And then you almost lost your first match.
I tried to.
Yes.
I didn't win the tournament. I can tell you that much.
Oh, so that's not the one you won? You did win one there.
I did, but no, I lost in the title match. I don't know who to.
Okay.
No, I do know who to. Do I? I can picture him, but I don't know who it is.
All right.
He barely beat me.
All right. You beat Zombro one year.
That was the Easter Classic when I won.
Got ya. Okay. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we will see you next week. Have a great one. See ya.
Thank you.